Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the shop. We're finally getting around to finishing off this taper attachment build here. Now we only got like 3 little parts to make. Now when I started this video, I had absolutely no direction whatsoever. I didn't plan anything. I just kind of dove in, and I'll have to admit, it did not pan out at all. So I scrapped all that crap mostly. Well, mostly. When I began the video, my taper attachment was sitting on the bench, and I was going to go do through the whole montage of putting it on the carriage and all that other stuff, but because I really needed to make the measurements here for our next part. So all the magic happens right here. See, they got the keyway and everything. So that way you can still move the carriage and also still turn the taper. You see how that works now. So I was having some problems with the lead screw on here. Every time I tightened it up on the little screw back here that holds the nut, it would start getting stiff and tight. So I thought my little nut here was just not quite tall enough. So then I added a shim, and that didn't quite do it. So I added another shim, and it still didn't do it. And I took those out and I put a bigger shim in there, and still no luck. So I ended up screwing around for 4 hours probably without even making a single chip. So that's why I scrapped all that other crap. We'll do a little assembly montage later on, I'm sure. But what ended up happening, this is a nut that I made quite some time ago. It was a little bit offset so that it would make up for some of the loss on the front here, but really it didn't make a big difference. But what was wrong with it is that this is actually not square with the screw, so it was a little bit cockeyed. So every time I tightened it up, it would cock over a little bit and wedge it tight, and I wasn't able to move the lead screw. So I ended up putting the original back on. It's got a fair bit of, well, actually with the new screw in there, it's only got about 10 thou backlash, so that's not bad. I can live with that. Better than 25. Anyways, so we're going to call that sussed. So we're going to call that sussed. I said sussed. What the hell? Hey, I said, son of a. All right, so what we're going to have to do to this piece right now, or at some point, flatten that off just a bit. And we're going to have to drill a hole and tap it for 3/8/16, I guess, for the bar to come out. And we got to make the bracket that attaches itself to the ways here. And then we should be able to do a proper testing of this unit. All right, so in lieu of my horrible planning failure, I found some of my preferred writing medium to come up with a plan. So this is kind of what I'm thinking right here is it's going to look like. So the ways go in there. Then we'll have a clamp down piece right here. That's not much to that. And then the top view looks similar to this, I guess. And hopefully have the bar will come through and 2 screws with like a slot in there, and then clamp down tight. And for the most part, that's it. I was going to make a little bit of a, like a slant there, or taper, or whatever you want to call it. But we'll see how that works out. I guess we'll have to mill these features in first so we can get a proper measurement from here to here. Because this is actually the most important one, I think. This one and this one here. All right, guys, so with some careful consideration, I've opted to, I'm gonna drill these holes out first. This will be for the main hole down, and this will be to squeeze the end together. I've gone ahead and preliminarily, or whatever you want to call it, I've used the SDM function here to just set up all the holes. So you just kind of scroll down, and every hole is all pre-programmed. So you just got to move it to 0 and drill away. Sweet. Don't let the little X's fool you guys. That's just me making sure that I drill the holes in the right orientation, because this is the bottom. So it's got to flip around, and I need this to be on this side. So that's why I did that. Just a sanity check. Those were some pretty big roughing passes there. That's a 400 thou step over with a 200 thou depth of cut. So that's there's just some big chips in there. The biggest that's in steel too. So, but the part when they come off big like that, it seems like they take away more heat too. Like this part ain't even barely warm. So, all right, guys, I got her all relocated or whatever. Put in some taller parallels there. I think it pulled the end mill down out a little bit, and it went to actually probably 25 thou. That was 25 thou over. So these two surfaces, or this surface right here, is actually kind of important to flat, because that from that measurement up a 1/4 inch is where that hole's going to be. So if everything worked out here, I should be right where I left off. All right, guys, so our majority of our cutouts already done. I went a little further back with this side here, just to give it a little bit more clamping pressure on the bottom of the ways. That's where the clamp's going to be sitting, and the bolts will go through the other side, and then just pinch it on the ways. That's yeah, that's about it. So now I'm at the point where I'm not really sure where to go with this. So this is where our lead, or the bolts or bar, I guess, is going to go through. And then it's going to have to be slotted here, and then that'll pinch down on that and we'll round all that off and stuff. I'm not really sure where to go with this, if I should drill the hole first. But I'd like to maybe put a radius in here of some sort, because everything on here is kind of round. So I've been looking around for an excuse to try this feature out for quite some time. And this is actually cutting an arc. Oh, so 61 passes it's going to take. I think we're right about here somewhere right now. So, yeah, it was kind of really hard to set up. Lots of fiddling around with the DRO and figuring out which starting angle to go off of and which way it's supposed to go. And yeah, so I'm still not sure how I did it, but I got it right finally. So just going to keep milling it out and stepping it out. Clear some space for making a mess. Let's start making some chips. Hopefully. So we're not quite there yet. We'll go down one more here. That was step 14 because I started off the radius is kind of coming down. So step 14, step 15 now. We're going 50 thou depth of cut because I don't so I don't have to file quite so much. So we'll see what it looks like here. Hey, that's one. There, zeroes back to the next cut. Hopefully this is working out. There's a lot of fussing around. And this first cut's the only kind of closest one that I want. This isn't really super. It looks like we're going the right direction for finally. Okay, close enough. All right, let's see if we can't get you guys a good view of the actual steps in here. They're starting to show. You can kind of see them there. There's a little step at a time. It's very, very, very subtle right now because it's a long arc. So by the time we get to here, it'll get start stepping out a bit more. But for now, I guess you guys get the gist of this. There's a lot of passes I got to do to get down to here. So 50 thou depth each time, roughly. So we're looking at whatever that works out to be for 1.25 inches. So I'm going to be here a while. I got to put some tunes on. Get back to you in a bit. So the step is so small now, or the depth or whatever is so small, that it's nearly doing the full 50 thou going the other way. So I'm doing 3 or 4 passes at a time before I clean the rest up. This seems to be going quite a bit faster. Nearly done here. I'll get back to you. Alright guys, so I made 60 cuts. 60. And by the end of the last 2 cuts are like 1.5 thou, and the other one was like 7/10. So I'm not gonna worry about. Well, I did do up to 60. It was 61 total, but it should be about 1.25 inches or thereabouts. So yeah, a couple thou short, but whatever. That's definitely close enough. All right, well, I guess we're done with this part. Or I guess the part by the part, I mean the crazy arc thing. Now I'm going to locate off the back of this and off the back of that. And I'm going to put one more hole in here for the guide bar or hold down bar. I don't know what you want to call it. The bar. Well, I think that's about all we can do right now for this whole part. So, well, not the whole part. We still got to slot it and figure out what kind of angle to put on the end of that thing, I guess. All right, so there she is, all polished up. I filed off the big rough stuff and then cleaned it up with the flapper wheel on the grinder, as well as I just wrapped a piece of emery cloth around the file to give it a little bit more polishing. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna settle for that for the moment. Now what I'd like to do is add a little piece of angle here. I kind of made a guide to get this this angle sorted out, so I can actually set this in the mill and just rest it on the parallel, and then should be able to mill that angle up quite precisely, because that's the idea anyway. All right, so dust here, and how do you want this here? That end's sticking up, so that'll go like that. That'll go like this. I might have to support that other side there. Hopefully this is square enough that it sits, well, square. I may actually run a dial across there just to make sure we don't get some weird angle across that. Okay, so this is what I was looking for here. See how the needle's moving? So it's not exactly square. It's coming up in the backside here, so give it a little tap. Ooh, that's a big tap. Oh, that's a lot better though. That's probably close enough there. Maybe just a shade more. That's pretty close. I'm gonna live with that for sure. All right. Good enough. Okay, so I'm aware that it's not exactly the best way to hold something, but I'm gonna take light cuts, take it easy on this, and hopefully everything works out okay. Holy crap. Okay, so I raised the spindle all the way up and locked it up, so let's try that again. That was a little sketchy. Hopefully it's not the clamp down and that it was just the spindle sitting down so far. Yeah, I think those inserts are pretty much at the biscuit. Yeah, it's getting really hot. Damn it. I may have to flip those inserts. They did not last as long as I had hoped they would. Ugh, now I got stinky freaking coolant everywhere. This stuff gets caked on and then smells like a freaking dead animal. All right, so we love these little delays. I got the other 5 done. I was just gonna do this last one with you guys because these things are so freaking tight. I'm literally closing my eyes every time I crack one because I'm thinking I'm gonna snap the screw off. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, they are really, really tight. And you can tell that they're pretty much toast. So, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe. You can see it's pretty burnt off on the end there. And that's the new corner. So, I think this should help quite a bit. Right now, I think it's mostly just pushing through the metal more than cutting it. I did put them through quite the ordeal though. So I'm going pretty tight, but not like super crazy tight. I'm not putting a ratchet on there. Just till I feel the little bars kind of flex and then I'll stop. All right, let's give that a shot. Okay, we got like 100 thou to go. I'm not gonna do that all in one shot though. I'm just gonna stick with 25 thou and just take it easy. Yeah, I'd say that's a lot better. Finish has improved significantly. Another 25 thou. Beautiful finish. Really nice. It's almost as good as a fly cutter. Really, really nice. Not hot at all either. So yeah, that was the problem. Sussed. No, we're not going to do that joke twice. Once is enough. Okay, another 25 thou. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Oh, actually could go a little further. I'm going like another 10. I'll have to go the whole route, see what happens. And this is what I actually had measured out, so. Yeah, that's bang on right there. Those chips are flying off like crazy now. Not just getting mashed in there, they're actually launching. Yeah, that's good. Alright, I think I'm going to use the frickin' table for this. Yeah. Oop. Okay, so as long as I don't fall asleep here, I should be okay. I'm just gonna just touched off the drill, and I set my stop up here on the spindle up there, this thing, to hopefully accommodate the depth that I want to go to. I only want to go about halfway here because then we're going to slice that, and well, we're going to tap it first and then slice that on the bandsaw. Seems like the only reasonable place to go. And chamfer. Okay, this is actually, I thought I had better tap for this, but I don't. This is a Mastercraft tap. So, okay, well, seems okay so far. Achilles heel, bad taps. Oh, that's tight. Oh my God, what the Well, it managed to make its way through there. I had to step up the drill size one more step just to give it a little extra help. Seemed like those first few were just really, really dull, or they're ground bad, or there's nothing there. But no, it's okay, I guess. It went through. Just had to be really careful. It felt sharp. Like most of it feels pretty sharp up here, but down here it's just nothing. Oh well, it's done. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, I guess. I'm not a big fan of doing this, but it seems like really the only way I can get a decent cut through there. I'm not sure if that's even in the right spot. It looks like it's got to come this way a bit. Kind of just going to eyeball it for the most part. This table doesn't have any reference points whatsoever, so it's really just a crap and shoot in regards to how accurate this is going to be. I'm just going to call that close enough. You don't have to cut very far. I'm just hoping it doesn't come out squirrely looking. Okay. I hate this part, so bear with me. There might be some swearing. And I don't know about this. I don't know about this cobbled together table. It's not very good. Well, it looks okay so far. Doesn't help that I'm wicked farsighted these days. I gotta wear the frickin'. I actually see what I'm doing. Bloody hell. All right. Well, it's not perfect. It's probably still better than I got it done with a hacksaw. So I guess we'll have to just, it's a little different on one side, I think, but I don't know. That'll be close enough. Hit the ball nose. All right. It should slide. Well, since we got this off here, I thought I'd stick it on the old beam scale just to see how much weight we're adding to it. And it looks to be about 16 pounds getting added to my carriage, give or take a few ounces or whatever it is in bananas. All right, so we're getting pretty close to completion here, guys. I'm just going to take this apart now. And what we're going to do is we got to drill a hole in the end here. And also, or wait, which end? Yeah, that's the end. So we'll have to drill and tap for 3/8 16, I guess is what I was going to go with. That's a very snug fit as well. Slide that out. Okay. I'm going to set that up in the middle and give her a little flat spot and drill and tap a hole right there. That's about it. And okay. That's about all I wanted to do right there. That is it. Just enough to put a center mark in there. All right, well, you guys seen holes getting tapped. I'll get back to you. All right, guys. Behold the taper attachment again. All right, so we got this all finished up. I didn't really have the right kind of bolt for that. I'm going to be making some custom fasteners for this at some point anyway. But for now, for testing purposes, I'm just going to use that one. It worked just fine. Off camera, I went ahead and I made the clamp down piece. That just fits down in there. One of these directions. Yeah, that way. You just screw in there, allegedly. They do go in. There we go. Everything on here is just so freaking tight. Like, not tight, but I mean, like, there's no room for messing around at all. Like, I gotta. So there's our clamp. That clamps directly to the back of the ways here. We'll just go ahead and snug that up right now. Give her a good torque. That ain't going nowhere. And as for the bar, I just finished finishing that off. I made that off camera too. There's nothing fancy about it. Just a piece of drill rod with a square end and the threaded end. Slides directly in here, just like so. Like, that's what I mean by everything is just so freaking tight. Like, there's no, like, even that much sticking out. There's hardly any wobble on there. And that just threads right in. You can see it on the other end there. That's just threading right into the taper attachment there. We can take our little wrench here, finish her off, give her a good snug. All right, we got that. Moves very freely. Mind you, when it's not in use, this won't be attached. Although it probably could just stay like that. Because I'm not seeing any sticking at all on there. It's moving just fine. And tighten that up, we'll use the camera camera stand wrench here. Not just you don't have to do much, just a little tweak like that. And that is stuck. You can see the tape attachment's already doing its thing. So I guess there's only one thing left to do. Now we'll give it a 30 thou here. Yep. I'm gonna test it. Give her a little, take out the backlash. Let's let her buck. I'm just hoping. Skip ahead here. You can hear it kind of taking a little bit more. It's a little harder for it to go. But it's not really struggling. That's a pretty big pass, 30 thou for this thing. And it is mild steel. Taking a nice chip. Now this is kind of what I want to see here, is backing it up after. What is it going to do? Nothing. Wow. Okay. Let's take another 30. See what kind of problems we're going to run into here. So that's 60 thou off the OD. You guys got a good picture of the compound and stuff too. It's wicked smoky in here. I had to open the door and turn the fan on. Well, these are all big roughing passes, and quite frankly, that's better than I can turn with the compound as far as finish goes. It's all kind of fast for high-speed steel, but Smoke, man, holy crap. Yeah, it's honestly, guys, it's feeling pretty good. Let's see what that finish looks like. Like it's, well, that's roughing passes. We haven't done, it's kind of getting pretty warm. Hitting anything on the way back either, so it's staying quite consistent. I'm gonna do a 10 thou pass, 20 thou overall, off the diameter. Backlash kind of messes with you a bit on this. It could be just the back nuts here that are not quite tight enough. Anyways. Yeah, I'll take up all as much backlash as I can here. Yeah, it's, holy cow, yeah, that's quite a bit. Hang on. It's doing some weird stuff with the backlash. And it's hard to tell where it's going with that. Okay, so that's where it's stopping. Yeah, see, there's a little something at the end there. And that little bump. Okay, that's where the 0 is. That, well, yeah, the smaller cut, that actually did a really nice job. Not bad. There's definitely some tool marks in there, but I'm sure they'd file out. All in all, guys, I'd say that was a big success. I'm gonna take it because that's, you know, that's a nice pointy, I don't know what, maybe a plumb bob in the future. So those are all pretty big roughing cuts. That last pass was maybe 10 thou, I'm not really sure. There's some backlash issues in there that I'm gonna have to suss out. Now the biggest problem I can see, I knew this was gonna happen though, it's not a big deal. Usually this went all the way back to about here. So I did lose about 1 1/8 of travel in there somewhere. So not too much, not too bad. Like, of course, you know, you diminish your capacity to turn stuff. Otherwise, that's still lots of capacity for me. I don't turn anything that big. Rarely ever. I mean, if I do, it's just on the face. So, and face, there's ways around that. You can flip the compound around and fiddle with that and get that to point in different directions and whatnot. So, not a big deal. I do intend in the future on making a whole new top slide anyway. So if when I do that, this nut can go back another 1 1/8 and it'll totally make up for the loss of movement there. So not a big deal. So I definitely want a bigger, beefier top slide on there. That top slide's kind of, they're not very rigid. When I was using the milling attachment, you could see the whole thing kind of just twisting. All right, guys, I don't think I have much more to add to this one. This was a huge freaking project. I guess I definitely want to thank Everett over at Everett's Workshop and Dean also from the Iron Cave Shop for all the drawings and help and collaboration involved. It's very much appreciated. Hope you guys get a glimpse of this when it gets out there. I'd like to thank all you guys for subscribing. If you want to support the channel, of course, you know what to do. Just hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And that's all you got to do. It's free. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.